Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Surprise Thursday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman from Batman the Classic TV series, or the Adam West Batman. Let's get into it! Let's start things off with a look at the packaging. And here, 22 moving parts, points articule, punto I don't know how to spell that. McFarlane Toys, Batman Classic TV series. Then on the top here, also, a piece of the window comes up from the front to let some light in from the top. Then on the front, 12 and up only. Well, not just only, I guess. But nice big window showcasing the figure and his accessories. DC Multiverse Batman Classic TV series. Win this! Batman! On the bottom, small print, fine print, legalese print, made China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. On this side, Batman Classic TV series. Batman Classic TV series. McFarlane Toy Squishy Spawn Face. Then on this side, DC Multiverse Batman. Win this thing, scan this code if you want to. There it is. And then on the back, Batman from Batman Classic TV series, and a nice photo of Mr. Adam West as Batman. And then you can find it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hashtag McFarlane Toys, McFarlane Toys Squishy Spawn Face. There's the address if you want to write them a letter or whatever. Made in China. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories, and we'll start off with the accessories. Here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at them. And first up, we have Batman's trusty batarangs. You can see if you want to put a little rope on it there, or string to say it's a bat rope, you can do that. And I have to say, it doesn't fold like maybe the ones from the series did, but it does have enough detail in it that you know what it's supposed to be. And I won't say it's lacking in definition or lacking in detail. It's really not. That's pretty much what the prop mostly look like on the show. And then here we have one of his various bat devices. Maybe this is the bat scope. And you can see it's got some nice molded details in there for a screen and a speaker, a knob. Looks like it's molded in black plastic. Has two little paint apps on it right here for the screen. At least I'm assuming it's a screen. And then on the back side it looks like it was 3D printed, even though we know it's not. But again, I'm not sure what exact piece this is from the show, but I'm sure it's show accurate, He also comes with 2 extra sets of hands, which I really think he really needed. And then here we have the pointing hand, and I think his finger might be a little hyperextended upwards. But maybe Adam West's finger did that. I don't recall. It's been a little while since I've seen the show. And then here is a shoulder tapping finger, or maybe a button mashing finger hand. And nice molded detail in it. I I like those. And the other set of hands I think are appropriate as well. It's so your Batman, if you choose to pick this one up, can shoot the peace sign. No, it's so Batman can do the Bat-2C. And if you don't know what that is, you need to go watch the show. It's a little dance this version of Batman does, and there's one hand for each side, so he can do the Bat-2C. Woo! So again, nice molded details, and I'm glad they did include these hands. It seems like there should have been one more set of hands, and that would have been fists. Because Batman used fists in the show a lot, even though you didn't actually get to see him make contact with any of the villains. He balled his fists up quite a lot. You got to see that. And then here, of course, we have the DC Multiverse stand. It's got the DC logo there emblazoned on it, and mine's got a little bit of, I don't know, residue from the factory or something on it. So, but you know, it's a disc with a peg on it. Now, let's take a look at the figure himself. And, you know, I'm so glad I decided to pick this figure up. Because, however, the likeness to Adam West is not 100%. But it's pretty good. Even without looking at the rest of it, you can tell that that is the Adam West version of Batman. And I have to say, the cowl has nice paint apps on it, appropriate to the show. And, you know, everything about this figure, even the lack of definition, muscle definition for Batman himself, you know, it really goes back to that show. And I'm not saying that, you know, Adam West was tubby or anything like that, but back in the late 60s there, you know, dudes didn't go around with six packs like they do now. And, you know, I mean, even like we've got some wrinkles in the costume here, but it really does, to me, aesthetically match up with what we got to see in the show. And I think they did a really, really good job on it. The bat symbol, of course, like it appeared on the show. Gold paint app here for the utility belt, and nice big pouches there on the belt from to stuff all his bat gear into. And of course, he's wearing his trunks, the appropriate wrinkles and stuff in it. Same with the pants or tights, whatever you want to call them. And then nice details on the boots as well. I think they did a really, really good job on it. Look at all the molded detail there in the gloves. It doesn't quite have that satiny look that the show had. Now the cape does, of course, because it is soft goods, so it does have that satiny sheen to it that it did in the show. And not only is it a soft goods cape, but it is a wired cape. And that's part of the, you know, another big reason I picked up this figure. I wanted to see how McFarlane's wired soft goods were doing. And this is the first one I've picked up that has the wired soft goods in it. And I have to say, I'm not disappointed. I think maybe the wire is just a tad too thick, too stiff of a wire, but I could be wrong. You know, he could have went the other way, like say Mythic Legions that have a really thin wire in it. I would like to see both of these lines that I just mentioned, you know, meet halfway. Maybe use a little bit thinner in the McFarlane, a little bit thicker on the Mythic Legions. But I have to say, everything about this figure I think is appropriate to his appearances in the show, which was, you know, every show, because it was Batman. One thing I will say about the cape, I do think it's a little bit lengthy in the middle, so I think there's a little bit too much of it there in the middle, so it's going to drag on the ground. Because in the show, Batman's cape probably about mid-calf is where it came, about right here probably. At least that's the way I remember it. It never dragged the ground. It was never that long. So, very nice so far. Let's take a look at his articulation. He can look up that high, so that's really good. He can look down that far. He's got some chicken neck. He's got waggle. He can do the full exorcist. At the shoulder, it's like a pin that goes into a ball. If you're familiar with McFarlane toys, you know what I mean. And even some imports. So it can pull down. It can go up a little bit. It does have butterfly forward that far. And back that far. He can... This cap goes all over the place though. He can raise his arm up slightly better than 90 degrees. 360 degrees of rotation. Cut here at the upper bicep for another 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged, pinned, not a surprise there, elbow, and gives you that much bend. So really good range of motion there. Cut here in the mid-torso, where the top belly meets the bottom belly, I guess. And it gives Batman all kinds of hula that Tootsie motion there, and also gives a full 360 degrees worth of rotation. At the waist, it doesn't seem to be anything. So I don't know if I should be surprised by that or not. No pull down hinge at the hips, but he will give you that much of the splits, probably more than Adam West could even do at the time. I don't know. I've never heard of that put to the test. He can kick forward that far, and the trunks are hindering that range of movement a bit. And back that far. And again, the trunks are hindering the range of movement there. So he's got a little bit of twist here at the hip, but not much. Double hinged pinned knee. And it gives you that much bend, so that's pretty good as well. No boot cut, so no rotation there. At the ankle, and it is on that ball system that McFarlane and a lot of imports use. So ankle can tilt down that far, up that far, and it does have rocker. It has toe tilt up that far, which is, wow, I don't know anybody's toes that can go that far. And then flat on the foot. And did I cover the wrists? I don't know. They're on the ball hinge system as well. And this one is set to in. And it can go out that far. And of course it can be set to up and down. And it will rotate 360 degrees. I don't know how I missed that. So there you have it, my friends. There's a look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Classic Television Series Adam West Batman with the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse 1989 movie Michael Keaton Batman from the Batman and Batmobile 2-pack. And in the back, the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Dark Knight Trilogy Christian Bale Batman. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman Classic TV series Adam West Batman, or 66 Batman, with from the Marvel Legends series making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, And for another 7-inch scale figure from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman from Batman the Classic TV Show, or Batman 66, however you want to call it, the Adam West Batman, I have to say, this is probably one of the, if not the, best Batman figures I have reviewed from the DC Multiverse line. The sculpt is super appropriate. I think the likeness, while not 100%, is really good. I think they're about 80% on the likeness for Adam West in this. And that's probably the closest that they've ever gotten with a likeness on a Batman. Well, on anything movie related, at the very least, or film, live action. And, you know, I almost didn't pick this figure up because I'm really frustrated with the DC Multiverse line at this time. It's every time there's a release in this line that I really, really want, it is very, very hard to get. And I understand that, you know, everybody else is probably looking to get that piece too. But it almost feels like McFarlane Toys is creating this scarcity on their toys for some reason to drive demand, maybe. I don't know. And I don't know if that's actually the case of what they're doing, but it feels like that. It feels like they're intentionally limiting runs on highly sought after figures that they know are going to be highly sought after, and they're really limiting the runs on it. And it could be just the toy industry as a whole swinging back towards lower production numbers, because the last few years they've had really high production numbers and a lot of clearance merchandise. Especially, I'm looking at you, Hasbro. And maybe not as much with DC Multiverse, but I'm sure there has been some issue there as well. So that may have something to do with it as well. But I will honestly tell you, I'm really frustrated with the line right now. So I'm kind of cutting way back. I'm keeping my expectations for the DC Multiverse stuff, getting my hands on stuff I want. I'm keeping my expectations really low on it, and that's just the way it has to be for me. Your mileage, of course, may vary. You may be having a completely different experience trying to collect DC Multiverse figures, and if so, that's great for you. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you can get the pieces that you want. And so I'm tired of being frustrated with the line, so I'm really cutting back. In fact, this is the first DC Multiverse figure that I've done in a while. So, but I am 100% happy with this figure. The only thing that's really missing, he really should have come with a pair of fists also, even though he might not have actually, you may not have actually ever got to see this version of Batman punch somebody. You know, you got pow, kazam, zap, zing, all of that instead. But you did get to see him ball his fist up and reach way back and prepare to assert itself. So I think that's really the only thing that's missing from this, and I hope that we get a Burt Ward Robin to go with this Batman in the DC Multiverse line that is equally as good as this Batman. I don't want them to give us some cheapo looking piece of crap that's supposed to be Burt Ward Robin. I want them to put equal effort into a Robin to go with this Batman. So, if this is your first time watching a DC Multiverse review from me, you picked a great time to watch one, because this is a really great figure. I really enjoy this figure, and he's going to have a prominent place in my multiverse shelf. In fact, he's going right in the front. He's going to go next to the Keaton Batman from the '89 Batmobile. That's how much I like this figure. Excuse me. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or just help the channel grow, or both. That's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.